I raise from a small blind. I get 3-bet. I call with ace-7 of diamonds. The flop comes king, jack, 2 diamonds. The turn is a 2 of diamonds. I check, and he bets 5,000, which is an overbet. And I call with my nut flush. The river is a blank, like an 8 of clubs or something. I check, he overbets 18,000. This is the kind of player who knows that my range is capped here. I never have kings, I rarely have jacks, and all of his flushes are better than my king X hands. Unfortunately, we call, and he shows us top boat. Yo, back at it again with another vlog. Hope you guys are having a great day, great week, been having great sessions, etc. So the last vlog or two, you probably saw how I ran it up to 42K, only to lose a 50K pot. So roughly around 24, 25K my share in a crazy blind versus blind configuration with nut flush versus top boat. So crushing. And then last night we get into another crazy hand. I have pocket aces. I 3-bet from the small blind, and then we get hesitation from the big blind. Great, you know what's coming. He 4-bets us and everybody folds, comes back to us. We take a few minutes to think through our options and we just go, heck, let's just jam it in. I think this player is gonna call pretty wide, and he does. Run out comes queen 5-6. He doesn't have a queen. Fantastic. Turn is a 9, and then river's a jack. And when I saw that jack, now we're losing to some crazy hands. I can only hope he has kings, but he doesn't. He hesitated way too long to call me pre-flop. And yeah, you guys guessed it. This guy just rivered me. We go more deep into the hole for the session. So we fought back all day and then get back. And look, I'm not complaining. I'm not the kind of person to just share bad beat stories all day. I just want to talk about how brutal poker can be. And it's just so important that you maintain your edge and that you can have a good perspective. So for example, in a blind versus blind configuration, maybe I can find a fold there sometime based off of the way the action goes, but I don't want to go back to that hand. And then the aces versus jacks, I'm gonna win 80% of the time or more. I mean, am I ever gonna complain if I only lose a hand 20% of the time? You just gotta have good perspective. And yeah, it didn't come at a good time. If I would have won that pot, it would have been a decent day, especially since we fought back so hard from being stuck the whole entire day. But that's just how it goes, man. So here's the thing. I'm wearing my Texas Card House shirt. We are about to head out to Texas Card House. Let's get some cards in. It's Tuesday. It's time to make some money. Let's go. Fast forwarding to a 5/10/25 live stream at Texas Card House. It's only the second hand on stream, and there's blood in the water. It folds to bones in the small blind, and he raises it up to 100. I wake up with pocket kings in the second blind and 3-bet him to 350. We expect Slicer to get out the way, but much to our surprise, he gives us the hezzy. And you know what that means. Incoming 4-bet to 775. Slicer is a highly competent player and does big volume online, which is where we first met. He knows I'm raising light in position and has a ton of hands he can 4-bet me with in a 3-blind game. But with kings, it's too strong to flat here. I can either 5-bet small and get SPRs down to 1 for a flop jam, or I could jam it here. Given our history, I think he calls with queen queen, jack jack, some 10s, and ace king. He has a ton of worse value hands, and I don't want to see any action killer cards, so I decided to go for it all.
Range. This is going to be a jam from JWIN. He's just going to pile it for a massive amount here, and this is going to be Cooler City no matter how this plays out. Rip it one time. JWIN needs a king. His diamond is covered, so running diamond's not going to help him. 6 here. 7 could be a chop. Needs a king or a 7. It's a 9 of diamonds. And just like that, first hand of the stream, JWIN going to get coolered down to the felt. Yeah, max pain for sure for our friend JWIN. Pretty nasty way to start things off.
Yeah, so classic cooler. Maybe we could make something happen with aces of our own. So it falls to Rick in middle position, and he raises to 65. With aces in a small blind, I 3-bet him to 275. He calls, making a pot about $600 and under an SPR of 3. In general, I'm happy to get it in with an overpair of SPRs under 3, so here we go. Let's see a good flop. Heads up to a flop of queen 8-6 rainbow. The plan is to bet small on flop and size up on turn. I start with a bet of 225, targeting any one pair combination that would need a call. When Rick raises me an additional $400, I take a moment to pick up any additional info on the table. I don't think any 2-pair plus ever raises here, so it's pretty likely my aces are still best. Rick doesn't have much left behind, so I just go for the jam. He thinks about it and calls. Let's fade some outs. The turn is a king of spades, giving him additional spade outs, but He doesn't need them though, because the river is a jack, giving him 2 pair. Fantastic. Alright, so small confession. I'm a believer in fate and do-overs. So check out this hand. Our nemesis Rick opens it up in early position. Bones calls after him, and looky, we get aces again. Maybe the poker gods want some justice. I 3-bet him to 175, but unfortunately, everyone folds. What the f? Watching this footage again was really interesting because throughout the last few days, I've gotten aces and kings so many times, and for whatever reason, I can't get someone to call me, or I can't get action that we can actually get value from. A lot of call, bet, fold type action lines, a lot of raise, fold action lines. I mean, we just couldn't get into any meaningful pots with our best pairs, and that's pretty tough. I think there's a lot of different types of run bad, and this is certainly one of those types, you know what I mean? Where you just have a good hand and you can't find anyone to engage in a pot with you or make a hand by the river and get someone to pay you off. I mean, it was really tough. And if you guys like this video so far, hit the like button below. It really helps other people discover my video and motivate me to keep this channel going. Can't win with value hands, so let's try to work in my polarized range. Ming raises to 40 in middle position. Rick calls after him, and it folds to me in a small blind. I'm not folding sevens, so it's just a matter of whether I want to set mine or go after it. I like a good heads up, so let's take the aggressive route and isolate. I 3-betted a 200 and only get a call from Ming. We're going heads up to a flop. The flop is 8-5-2, 2 diamonds. Great board for my hand, so I put in a large 2/3 bet, $200, and Ming calls. The turn is an offsuit jack. The strategy now is to get to showdown and hope all big draws brick. I check, and so does Ming. 1 card to fade, baby. The river is a 4. Our plan hasn't changed, so I check. Ming goes for the overbet jam, and we now have a decision. The river 4 completes a 7-6 straight, but we're double blocking it. All diamonds brick, and I would imagine that a jack would have bet turn. So why is he jamming now? A set of 4s maybe? I'm not sure, but I don't see the story. And 7s work great as a bluff catcher here, so I call. And get the bad news. I didn't really think of the ace-3 straight, and unfortunately, pay for it. Final hand for the session. We're first to act and look down at ace-4 suited. I raise to 75 and get a call from Andrew in middle position. Ming on the button and Rick in a small blind. 4 ways to a flop. The flop is ace-3-2. Good start so far, but multi-way and out of position, I'm gonna do a lot of checking with my full range. It ends up checking through the flop. Great. The turn is a 4, giving us 2 pair. This time, Rick leads out, and I put in a call. Perhaps it should have been a good sign to fold when the pot was still so small. But anyway, Andrew in middle position raises, and Ming calls after. Rick decides to leave, and here's a second chance for me to exit, but I'm just too hard-headed, and I put in the overcall. The river is a blank, and most likely Ming missed whatever draw he was on. I'm only worried about Andrew. When I check it over, he puts in a small bet of 800. Ming, of course, folds, and it's back to me. I mean, how many 5s does Andrew even have here? Pocket 5s? 6-5 suited? What bluffs does he have? Well, I know that Rick let out with a small size, and I just don't have 5s in my range. And Andrew was smart enough to know that, so my hand is a pretty good bluff catcher in the spot, right? Well, I put in a call and he shows the straight. I think bluff catching is a valuable skill, but the pot was $300 on a flop. $300. I was risking a lot to be right just to win a little, which sounds like ego-driven behavior to me. This is something I need to correct in my game ASAP, but awareness is the first step, so yeah. I'll work on it. I think by this point in the hand and the session, I was just tilted. I mean, to have whatever it was, $75 invested in a pot, and then all of a sudden somehow balloon to about $1,400 or $1,500 from my stack into the pot and then losing that was just really bad play. And yeah, these are signs of tilt. And watching this tape, I can see it in real time. And of course, you don't realize it in the moment, but that's tilt. I'm at the lodge playing 5-10-25 and the session was pretty slow, but I'm still up 1.5k or so until this hand. For context, the stand-up game is on with a $1,400 bounty, so ranges are wide and there's a lot of bluffs in everyone's range. So anyway, onto the hand. Zach raises in early position, Slicer overcalls in a small blind, and it's on to me in the third blind. With ace-queen suited and a stand-up game going on, it's a great opportunity for me to take it down here. I raise it up to 500, but both Zach and Slicer call. The flop is pretty dry. King 5-4 rainbow. Slicer and I check, and Zach takes the betting lead, starting with a bet of 420. Slicer folds, and I'm thinking about this spot. Zach misses this flop a whole lot here. His best kings and paired combinations are generally 4-betting pre-flop. He has a lot of medium suited connectors and Broadway cards that miss the flop, and a lot of incentive to start betting in position. For those reasons, I make the call. The turn is a 2, completing the rainbow, so no flushes to worry about. I check it as Zach and he bets again, around half pot. Given the line I took, all of his bluffs are incentivized to bet again. With some additional outs with the 2, my plan is to now simply call down. On an 8 river, Zach goes all in for the remaining chips. Nothing's really changed here unless he had 7-6 exactly, but that's 4 combos at best. I think most of his marginal pairs would have checked turn, so outside of a straight, his strongest made hands are the bottom sets. But I'm not sure if he always raises them in early position. Generally speaking, most people just fold their small pairs. I make the big call with ace high, and probably look silly for stacking off here. Let me know in the comments what you think of this play. So those were some of the painful hands over the last 4 or 5 day stretch. Ever since winning 42K on live stream, which was my biggest win ever on a live stream, we go down on a massive 54K downswing. And these were the main hands. Some are outright coolers, and some are marginal pots that I'm fighting for. And to be honest, I like my style of play. I'm aggressive, I go after it, I fight for what I think belongs to me. And of course, I'm not afraid to put my chips where my beliefs are. And if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. Especially playing with the competition I play with, you can't be afraid to believe in something and actually put chips behind it. So it is what it is. It's been a really, really difficult time. I'm not used to losing, and I'm certainly not where I want to be for the month, and now officially I'm not where I'm supposed to be for the year. But I hope you guys stick with me, and if you guys are patient, I'm gonna turn this thing around. Anyway, it's been a long day. I'm putting this vlog together right now. I'm gonna finish it up, and I hope you guys enjoy it. And if you did, don't forget to hit the like and the subscribe button so you can follow my journey. We still got a couple more weeks left to the end of July, and so let's go after it. Let's get it. Let's play some good poker, and let's see where the chips fall. All right, guys. I hope you guys have a great day, great night, great evening. I love you guys. Thank you so much. Peace.